Now at 9, a record-breaking demonstration on the Senate floor. Find out what the speech is addressing.
And how 2 Ball State professors are assisting in NewsLink. Find out how they provide a hands-on experience for students.
Then, how a government error sent a father away. Find out what this means for the future of deportation.
And the DOJ is seeking the death penalty for Luigi Mangione. See how this impacts the future of his case.
Tracking severe weather ahead. NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thanks for being with us today. I'm Braylon Judy.
And I'm Demo Robinson.
Now, today is April Fool's Day, but weather is not fooling around. Noah, what do you have for us?
Yeah, guys, there is certainly no fooling around with the weather tonight. If we look outside across our regional radar here, not a lot happening here, especially in northern Indiana. Some showers off to the west here, but only some high clouds here near Muncie. Across campus as well, not a lot happening, especially only those clouds like I mentioned, but a lot ahead tomorrow and especially over the next couple of days. We're tracking a severe threat tomorrow, high winds, and a flooding threat. I'll have all that and more coming up later in the show.
Thank you, Noah. A senator from New Jersey has kept his promise to stand as long as he can in a speech that has broken records within the Senate. New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker held the Senate floor with a marathon speech that started last night and ended mere hours ago in a demonstration of resistance to President Donald Trump's sweeping actions. The total time, 25 hours and 5 minutes. Through the over-day-long speech, Booker touched upon a number of issues, including the president's actions to try to go around Congress and its power of the purse.
It should not be possible in America for one single man, even an elected president, to stop funds which Congress has already allocated. I implore you to use your power as my senator and a key member of our government to stand up for what is important to the people of your district.
The speech was not a filibuster because Booker was not blocking legislation or a nomination. His speech kept the Senate floor open for as long as he spoke, sparking conversation amongst lawmakers. A former South Carolina senator previously held the record for the longest Senate speech. Booker outlasted him by 47 minutes.
The White House admitted that a Maryland man was mistakenly deported to El Salvador as part of the administration's intense crackdown on immigration. Now, the administration says Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia cannot be returned because he is now in El Salvadorian custody. The filing stems from a lawsuit over the removal of the Salvadorian national. Abrego Garcia was granted protected status by an immigration judge in 2019. According to a court declaration from the senior ICE official, Abrego Garcia had been arrested in mid-March due to his prominent role in MS-13. However, his attorney says he is not a member and he doesn't have any ties to the gang.
The Justice Department will seek the death penalty for the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Luigi Mangione faces state and federal charges for shooting Thompson in Midtown Manhattan in December. Officials said she will direct the interim U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York to seek the death penalty if Mangione is convicted on capital murder charges. He's pleaded not guilty to the state charges.
At Ball State University, NewsLink Indiana helps students step into the world of news with hand-on experience. The leadership of 2 professors guides students on how to get the job done.
NewsLink's Mira Bloomer has the inside look on their teaching.
NewsLink Indiana is a student-run newscast, but behind the success are 2 professors. One professor who lives in the newsroom, helping students produce their show. Another professor who lives outside, camera in hand, and possibly even a drone. With decades of experience, they're not just advisors, but the foundation of the program.
I'm there when they need me. If they need to run something by me, if they want advice, if they want guidance on something, I'm also there to make sure that all the equipment's working.
While working closely with students to create a professional newscast 4 days a week, their role isn't just teaching the technical aspects, but also guiding students in every aspect of journalism.
Say it's like weightlifting. The more reps you do, the stronger you get. the more stories you tell, the more times you grab a camera, a microphone, or work at the switcher, or you make phone calls on beat calls, anything, the more you do, the better you get, and your storytelling gets better too.
Showing students how to think on their feet and how to problem solve under pressure, all while making it look flawless.
And you can see the difference when students are in NewsLink, they are really career ready as soon as they graduate.
Dedicated to ensuring that NewsLink Indiana serves its local audience both on campus and in Delaware County.
For the community, they can go out and cover stories that maybe aren't getting covered otherwise, just by the nature of the business. And this is a real opportunity to really make their mark in Muncie and in Delaware County.
Preparing students to succeed not just in school, but in the professional industry.
So any other college graduate would have to get a job someplace else for 2 years before they could get a job at a higher market. And so our students start off ahead of their counterparts who didn't participate in NewsLink Indiana.
Live news is unpredictable, yet Terry and Tim keep it calm and collected.
To rush to get someone to the scene of whatever it is, but then you have to take a step back and say, okay, what's the big picture of how we need to handle this here? And so if I can kind of be that support, I guess is the best way of saying it, so I can just say, here's what you need to be thinking about right now.
With Tim and Terry's guidance, NewsLink Indiana isn't just about creating a student-led newscast, but about shaping the next generation of journalists through all forms of media. In Muncie, Mira Bloomer, NewsLink Indiana.
For more information about NewsLink Indiana and how students can get involved, visit student media and organizations on the Ball State website.
After the break, job openings are shrinking nationwide. Find out what is causing the plummeting market.
And many states are suing the Trump administration. See what sparked the lawsuits. Stay with us.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Said I'm fine.
Me the bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really hard for me.
Hey there, Hoosiers. Are you ready to give your child a head start on their future? Indiana 529 savings plans are a simple way to save for their education. Plus, there are some great tax benefits. The best part? It's not just for college. Indiana 529 can be used for tech schools, trade programs, apprenticeships, and more. Start with just $10 a month at myindiana529.com to help them reach their dreams.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing. And getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life.
This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time. There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Find your place in space.
This is my time.
Space for All.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Welcome back. Employment opportunities in the U.S. are down. The number of job openings fell to 7.57 million in February. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey that just got released. The report is considered a measurement of labor market demand. At the beginning of the year, the number of available jobs was 7.76 million. U.S. employers rolled back hiring plans in February, due in part to heightened economic uncertainty.
Democratic attorneys generals in over 20 states are suing the Trump administration over the rollback of $12 billion in public health funding. The lawsuit against the Department of Health and Human Services calls the rollback unlawful and harmful. The attorney generals say the cut to funding will lead to public health services being discontinued and thousands of healthcare workers losing their jobs. The suit says that another $1 billion from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration was terminated.
Princeton University says several research grants have been suspended by the federal government. The university was notified this week by multiple agencies, including the Department of Energy, NASA, and the Defense Department. The school president says the university hasn't received an explanation for the cuts. The university is among more than 50 schools being investigated by the Department of Education for alleged violations related to anti-Semitism. Protesters rallied against Israel's military action in Gaza at Princeton last year. Princeton says the school is committed to fighting anti-Semitism and all forms of discrimination.
Rainfall chances through the end of the week. All of the details coming up after the break.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 Americans are sick of the divisions in our country? But there's one small step we can take to remember that we're still connected. All over America, strangers with different political views are coming together to talk about their lives, not politics, and discovering they actually have a lot in common. Because even if we don't see eye to eye, we can still talk, heart to heart. So let's talk, for a change. Learn more at takeonesmallstep.org.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back. Now, Noah, as you were talking about weather earlier, that kind of alarmed me because we have a special event coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, Ball State Day is tomorrow, and we're kind of a little worried on how the weather's going to look like. I know it's supposed to be an upbeat day, and the weather's not looking like it's going to be the case.
Yeah, the weather's certainly not in a giving mood tomorrow, but if we look outside right now, tonight is pretty quiet across our region. Looking at tonight's graphic, we have really some quiet conditions, some cooler weather, especially for the rest of this evening. Only a low of 39 degrees with those east-southeast winds at about 10 miles an hour, but things are going to warm up particularly quickly tomorrow here. We start out 48 at 8 a.m., 65 up to noon, and then 72 at 5 p.m. But much more important, look at these winds out of the south-southeast at 15, gusting up to 30, then gusting up to 40 with those sustained winds at about 20 miles an hour by the time we get to noon, all the way up to the south-southwest winds with those gusts at about 40 miles an hour. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to surge moisture and temperatures northward and set the stage for the severe weather event we are going to see tomorrow. Now, right now, the Storm Prediction Center has all of our region here in that 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for severe weather. The higher probabilities, 4 out of 5 currently to the southwestern part of the state into the Ohio River Valley here. But like I mentioned, all of the severe weather threats on the table tomorrow: damaging winds, large hail, and even the possibility of a spin-up tornado or two. So we're going to time this out. We're going to show you each individual piece by piece here, starting off with that tornado threat here. We're in this 10% hatched area, and what this hatched area means is basically it's the Storm Prediction Center trying to tell us this is going to be perhaps a more significant event, something where these storms may be longer lived or stronger here, especially in Muncie. This is the kind of the most significant threat we've seen here in about a year's time. Similarly, the wind threat going to be very elevated across our region. Wind gusts and winds up to about 75 miles an hour perhaps possible here. And now timing it out on a precision cast here, we start tomorrow morning, cloudy, a line of storms, maybe a few warnings, just a rumble of thunder here. Not expecting this to be the main event. Slowly moves through our region. We start to clear out for quite a while, but into the afternoon, our model's showing some breaks in that cloud, maybe getting some sunshine in here, and that's really going to energize the atmosphere as the more severe line starts to move through here. 8, 9 o'clock, right along that I-69 corridor here in east central Indiana. This is where we're going to expect to see those damaging winds, hail, and even an isolated spin-up tornado or two. But we look at these temperatures and these wind gusts moving ahead of the line, and that's going to be the possibility of those even stronger tornadoes that may be long-lived or particularly damaging. So we hope we don't see that here, but luckily things are going to clear out by the time we get to Thursday morning and into Thursday. Cooler, calmer, and much quieter, but those winds, even outside of the storms, are going to remain quite gusty here, with a south wind gusting about 35 miles an hour, increasing to about 45 miles an hour as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So whether you're going to see those storms or not, it's going to be windy out there especially, but luckily they do calm down as we get into Thursday morning. Now, like I mentioned with our 7-day forecast here, really going to be quite rainy, quite gloomy across all of our region here. 72 on Wednesday, 61 on Thursday, 50 on Friday. We see those temperatures start to move back towards average for this time of year, and that range just continues through Saturday and Sunday. We're even under a flood watch here in portions of east central Indiana through about Sunday afternoon here, with about 1 to 3 inches of rain expected. So, like we mentioned, it seems like a giving day tomorrow. We got one Ball State Day, our telethon especially. Yeah. Weather's not going to cooperate though.
Okay. Yeah, at least it's not snow. Yeah. I can deal with some rain.
Yeah, I can deal with some rain. Get some plants watered out. Look alive with the environment. So I guess I can't be too mad.
Spring showers, it's just how it is here in Indiana in April.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Noah. There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jace Miller has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Braylon and Damar. One card is hitting the road and one sports card sells big. All this and more next in sports.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Students who can read by the end of 3rd grade are 35% more likely to graduate. I'm Dr. Katie Jenner, Indiana Secretary of Education, here to tell you how reading 30 minutes per day can improve the trajectory of a child's life. Whether you're reading with your child or they are reading independently, this is one of the most important things you can do to help them succeed. So this school year, please encourage your child to continue reading. It's a small habit that makes a big difference.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh. My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jace Miller with sports. Today marks the start of a new era for Ball State sports. For the first time since 1960, Charlie Cardinal will not be the mascot. As announced today by University President Jeff Mearns, the new face of Ball State is the Goose. A staple of Muncie's campus, the Geese are known for being fearless and intense, hissing at students attempting to get to class. Nothing says Ball State in a competitive spirit better than our beloved Geese. Things are expected to return to normal tomorrow, April 2nd. Kicking it over to esports, the Rocket League team will be competing for a national championship this weekend. NewsLink Indiana's Camden Jackson stopped by to see how they're preparing for it.
The Ball State Rocket League esports team is looking to add another trophy to their trophy case as they have qualified to compete in the Collegiate Rocket League National Championship. The Ball State Rocket League team has been preparing pretty hard for the National Championship tournament by doing things such as scrimmages.
So every week we have set scrims that we do. We scrim against like top
10 teams in the nation pretty consistently. We take those scrims super seriously.
The Rocket League team also recently took down the #1 team in the country, Northwood. Long believes that they could use that as extra momentum when it comes to the national tournament.
Taking down Northwood felt amazing. It felt like we know what we're capable of, and doing that and beating them showed even more so that if we're able to beat the best team in the country, then we're able to beat anyone else.
Long says that they feel that the one thing that separates them from the rest of the competition they're facing is the power of friendship. Outside of playing collegiate Rocket League with each other, they get together a lot and do things as friends, and he believes that it's something that gives them the one-up against other teams.
Yeah, I think what separates us from most teams is our chemistry outside of the game. Like even last week before we took down Northwood, the #1 team, we went bowling. But yeah, we build chemistry outside of the game, and I think that's what makes us so good, is we're friends outside of the game.
The Rocket League team begins play for a national championship this weekend on April 5th. In Muncie, Camden Jackson, NewsLink, Indiana.
From the virtual realm to the world of sports memorabilia, basketball star Caitlin Clark continues to break records. The Indiana Fever's rookie guard featuring her signature sold at auction for $366,000. According to ESPN, it's the most a women's sports card has ever sold for. The previous record was a Serena Williams card that sold for just over $266,000 in May 2022. Clark was the #1 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft and the winner of the Rookie of the Year award. Ball State's men's volleyball faced off in a match this past Saturday that was filled with victory and emotions. NewsLink Indiana's Xavier Harris has more on just how much this match meant.
This Saturday, Ball State's men's volleyball team faced number 10 ranked McKendree. The Cards won their first set. The second set, McKendree was able to make things even, winning 26-24. That would be the only set McKendree would win, however, with the Cards winning the last two sets 25-23, completing the upset. Given that it was senior night, for the team, the afternoon was filled with emotions and gratitude.
It was everything. I actually teared up. It was everything I hoped for, I wished for. Like, man, it's another feeling to get a win on your senior night after getting a loss, like, you know, a day before with a team that is ranked lower than the team you played today, you know.
The night also called for a time of reflection, with players and coaches looking back, paying their respects to one another, both on and off the court.
It takes a little time to respect and show all the seniors how much time they've actually put in and how much work they've put in over the past 4 years, and it's just a night to celebrate and remember.
So this is a group that we're going to miss, that set really high academic standards, really set the tone for how we engage in community events, and yeah, just a really impactful group.
The team knows the season comes with its challenges. Players see it as a test of their true strength, but also added motivation.
Take the bad days and learn from the bad days and just keep going. Like you don't have to stop. That's the thing. A lot of people give up, and by giving up, you're not even giving yourself a chance. So just keep going.
In Muncie, Xavier Harris, NewsLink, Indiana.
And keep going is what that men's volleyball team will do. Postseason right around the corner. They're going to have to do it with a new name, guys. Yeah. They're going to have to be the Geese.
Yep. Ball State Geese has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
It does.
Think about it.
Geese
pride.
When I woke up this morning, I thought Ball State was being serious, but then I looked at the date, and of course, I was kind of disappointed, but also was like, I was thankful for Charlie Cardinal.
Like, chirp, chirp, no.
Honk,
honk.
honk.
Honk,
honk.
honk, honk.
Yeah, hit, like the Globo Gym.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Jace.
Thank you, Jace. After the break, we have a look at your campus coverage.
And we have one final look at weather. Don't go anywhere.
Yarr! All I wanted was my treasure, and I wound up with a lawsuit from my neighbors. And a belly full of regret.
Thanks, Salty Pete. What a powerful dig story. Okay, great class, everybody. Before we go, let's stand and say the safe digging pledge. Shovels don't know right from wrong, but I do. And always contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before digging. It's the only way to dig.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Daniel Huber, and this is your campus coverage. Root beer floats and Shirley Temples were among the treats served to students at Northwest Hall's Let's Bloom Bring on the Spring event. I sprung into action to ask why events like this are important for the campus community.
We have root beer and Dr. Pepper float, Sprite mixed with lemonade, Shirley Temple.
Students at Northwest Hall celebrated the arrival of spring by drinking mocktails and creating bouquets. One of the people celebrating was first-year CAP student Henry Boss.
I thought flowers are really nice, and I thought I'd invite my girlfriend to help me pick some out. I like the smell. I really like the look of them. I think they're very colorful, and I like that they're alive and they make the dorm smell nice.
Boss says that events like these are important because they build a sense of community and provide a safe space on campus.
This is great. I think these should be hosted more often, maybe weekly.
Nina Townsend, the assistant residential learning coordinator for the dorm, helped the Hall Council organize the event. In her 2 years in the role, she said the event went well.
I think the residents enjoyed it. I feel like we had a good turnout. We are able to check that through NewsLink just to see like who kind of scanned in and came through. But I mean, we're out of ice cream. We're out of like flowers pretty much.
Townsend says that dorm events are good for students to decompress.
So I think that this program is definitely helpful to kind of like ease the stress and kind of like let the residents like, I don't know, just experience having some fun with some of their fellow friends and classmates, and then also like just being able to kind of relax and do something fun for a night.
And when finals week is just around the corner, maybe the best thing to do is stop and smell the flowers. According to Townsend, the Northwest Hall Council is gearing up for their end-of-the-year event on April 14th. They're planning to have Kona Ice, Auntie Anne's Pretzels, games, and tie-dye.
And the event held two things that I love the most: gardening and sweets. I love a sweet tooth. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Green thumb, sweet tooth. What's next?
Root beer floats are my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a Coke float. Ever had that?
I have not. That sounds amazing.
It's pretty good. I like it. Yeah.
I used to have my grandma's house. I used to have Sprite with butter pecan ice cream.
Whoa!
That is interesting.
It was different.
All right, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll have to try that and the Coke float.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
And for a final look at weather.
Yeah, this week might be one of those weeks to stay inside, maybe enjoy some of those RA events, maybe even get yourself a sweet drink as well. But we have to get through tomorrow first. That potentially significant severe weather possible, especially from about 6 p.m. to about midnight. Tomorrow, all hazards on the table. So a day where you definitely want to stay weather aware, have those notifications and multiple ways to receive warnings. But not very often do you see this many rain chances on a 7-day forecast here. Not looking like a lot of sunshine all the way into next week with those temperatures below average as we head into the rest of our work week. So,
well, I'll make sure I have an umbrella on standby at all times. Thank you, Noah.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 5 to catch our 4-hour-long broadcast as part of the university's One Ball State Day. Listen in to hear some of the university's most inspiring stories and how you can support Delaware County's only live broadcast.
You can catch all that and more tomorrow on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel. And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.